So I'm in Crystal City and I'm buying my groceries. And I noticed that everybody was giving that card. Everybody, I mean, they had these huge baskets, and I realized it was the first of the month. But then I'm looking over and there's a couple beside me. This guy was built like a brick house. I mean, he had muscles all over him. He was in a little tank top and pair of shorts and really nice Nike shoes, and she was standing there and she was all in shape, and she was looked like they just came from a fitness program. I mean, she was in the spandex, and I mean, you know, they were both physically fit. And they go up in front of me and they pay with that card. Fraud. Absolute 100% of all it is fraud.
That was Congressman Markwayne Mullin, a Republican from Oklahoma, telling a town hall his story of food stamp fraud at a grocery store in Crystal City, Virginia. This couple was in great shape, so what do they need food stamps for? Now, to his credit, he did stop short of describing the fraudsters as possessing calves the size of cantaloupes. But that story of supposed fraud in the nation's food stamp program, also called SNAP, is a long-running and currently intensifying mythology on the right. Most recently, House Republicans have been waging what amounts to an all-out war on food stamps, turning their institutional attention to fighting the scourge of hungry people getting food. Last month, they took the unprecedented step of stripping the Nutritional Assistance Program from the Farm Bill altogether and are now considering $40 billion in cuts to SNAP over the next decade. But in some ways, Republican lawmakers are simply following the lead of the right-wing noise machine, which has now decided to focus its efforts on turning food stamp recipients into the next welfare queens. Last week, Fox ran an hour-long special called The Great Food Stamp Binge, dedicated solely to misrepresenting a program that feeds millions of hungry Americans.
All paid for by our wonderful tax dollars.
We are just a hair away from large-scale hunger, malnutrition, and starvation in America.
Do you really believe that?
No question whatsoever.
You're just laughing. Absolutely preposterous. You and your volunteers stop and explain food stamps to just about every person on the street.
Yes.
It could be construed as recruitment.
The 29-year-old has chosen the life of a beach bum in this seaside paradise. With no fixed address, Jason has, for the last couple of years, floated from place to place, staying with family, pals, and girls he's dated.
This is a nice day today, though, huh?
He gets by with a little help from his friends and you, the taxpayer.
If it's just a question of money and benefits, then you can diminish and dull their incentive to work and achieve and to rise above difficult circumstances. So I think there's a real moral question here.
Food stamps as a specific program is one of the most obvious ways in which the government has reached into American neighborhoods and says it's okay to be dependent.
Thank you, taxpayers. Thanks.
Do you feel guilty at all about doing this?
No.
Now, let me take a second to cleanse your palate from what you just watched with some actual facts about the food stamp program. One of those is that fraud in the food stamps program is at an all-time low. Less than 2% of SNAP benefits go to households that do not meet the program's requirements. And contrary to what Fox News would have you believe, the program is actually underused. Listen to this. A quarter of all the people eligible for food stamps don't sign up. And less than 40% of seniors who are eligible signed up in 2010. Knowing those facts, let's look at who is receiving help from the program. According to the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, roughly 91% of SNAP benefits go to households below the poverty line, which is about $23,000 for a family of four. $23,000. And 55% of SNAP benefits go to households with incomes below half of the poverty line, about $10,000 for a family of three. And many of those people, the people who Republicans characterize as moochers and fraudsters, they also happen to live in areas that overwhelmingly support Republicans, in the reddest of the red counties. Listen to this. Today, Bloomberg reported that among the 254 counties where food stamp recipients doubled between 2007 and 2011, Republican Mitt Romney won 213 of them in last year's presidential election.